Hey guys, it's Blair here. Now, I recently just watched a video looking through the nano scroll bar on YouTube, and I came across a channel which I believe is called Sarah Sunbeams. I will recommend you go and check out her videos. I've just watched one, but I'm definitely going to watch the rest of them. So it's really great to find some new people to watch during November. But she mentioned that she really enjoyed reading the Writer's Digest books on writing. And I was like, yes, I was actually going to make a video a while ago showing you all of my Writer's Digest books that I'm actually currently using as resources. And with my writing books, I tend to just use them and pick them up when I need to use them. But I thought I'd show you guys, even though November is about just getting the stuff done and getting it written and writing, I do think it's great to have these as resources as well, because some of these books kind of like really help me get in the mood or make me think about things in different ways and So I have a selection here and I'm going to go through and show you them. The first one I am currently dipping in and out of is 90 Days to Your Novel, a day-by-day plan of outlining and writing your book. What I love about writing Writer's Digest, which I have to just mention now, is the detailed examples that it has, the questions that it has, the sheets that it has, and it usually actually comes with like something that you can download and print out as well. So far I'm not far into this, but when you're reading these Writer's Digest books, they're very depthy. Like, how do I explain this? You know, when you can read some non-fiction books and you can just fly through them and you get a couple of ideas and you're like, okay, that's a really great book. These ones are really, really effective for writing and learning to write, teaching yourself writing skills and the craft, but also for inspiration. So this one goes into 90 days and it breaks it up into weeks as well. So for example, the chapter that I'm on right now is, where is it? Preparation is key. I'm up to the chapter about scenes. So it talks about all the different kinds of components of a scene. You know, what is the purpose of the scene, what characters are involved, what is the stake for the protagonist, what is the main conflict of the scene, how does the scene further develop my plot. Now I would say these books are primarily definitely for people who love to plan, but also who love to work on their craft and work on it as they progress. I know there, again, mentioned all around YouTube that there are people who like to write by the seat of their pants, and that's very good because I do that sometimes too. But I love these references, and something like this is really, really helpful for me, especially on the days that I'm struggling and I just want to plot out my scene. It goes into beginning, middle, and ending of a scene, because scenes are what make up your chapters and chapters are what make up your book. And it gives prompts, little assignments, and like I said, I haven't gone too much into this book, but so far it has been so helpful. I remember it was last November when I started my novel, The Pure and Painted, and I was having a bit of trouble coming up with this one character that I really needed to not only push the novel forward, but to add some character depth to my main character. And one of the exercises was to talk about one of your teachers from high school or school. And I had this one teacher that I really, really hated, and for various reasons. And when I started writing about her, she became a character in herself, and I discovered that she had, her own personality. So I put her in my novel, and I changed things, and I reworked things, but the essence of that teacher is there, but she gave my character a chance to really shine on herself, but also gave the character itself a place out of my life, and out of the context of, existence, but into a novel where I could explore why that happened to me, if that makes sense. So it's not so much like Mary Suing putting herself into a novel, but that's what we do as writers. We explore different elements of our life and our history and what we've learned and what we've gained and explored. So I think it's really, I love it. It was a light bulb moment for me. So definitely recommending 90 Days to Your Novel. When I reach the 90 days of this book, I'll let you know how it goes. That's just a reference. Then we've got the Writer's the Writer's Workbook, which is 366 tips, tasks and techniques from your writing career coach by Christina Katz. If you buy any of these books at all, buy this one. It is absolutely fantastic. This woman is a strong, inspirational woman who doesn't sugarcoat things, but is very nurturing, and she talks about writing and having a writing career and just writing in general that really motivates me, and I find it is like having a coach. Reading this book is like having her standing beside me and going, have you thought about this? Can you do this? This is what your career looks like, or this is what your career can look like, or this is what your writing can look like. But it's not just about having a writing career, it's primarily about, focusing on your passions and different ways to do that. And it's broken up into 4 parts, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 parts. And it's broken up into seasons. So, the first part that I just finished today, I've been reading this for quite a while, on and off, is spring, getting ready, and summer, finding your stride. So you can read this seasonally, or you can take it in a metaphysical way, and, spring is when you bloom and start, grounding your ideas. Summer is finding your stride and being active. And it's set up like this. You could read 1 a day, you could read a whole 10 a day. Some have exercises, others are just, quotes and inspirational ideas or thoughts. And so the first one is Write Like You Breathe, and the second is Sell Your Words. And it's just beautiful. It's a lovely book, and it's one you can read over and over again as well. So that's that one. This one I would probably recommend for 2 different reasons. It's called Writing the Fiction Series, a complete guide for novels and novellas by Karen S. Wiesinger. Got that done. Okay. And again, I've been working through this one for a long time. Now, if you're a writer who knows that your story is going to be longer than a book, you've plotted it out, you planned it, and you know for sure that that book is going to be another book, and you're using NaNoWriMo as a way to really get yourself started or completed on a project or working on the next part of the project, buy this book. Buy this book anyway because it has fantastic insights, but buy this book if you are going to write a series, a trilogy, a duology. It is absolutely essential reading. If I could recommend any book on writing a series, it would be this one. It goes into so much depth and has so much creative juice in it. I don't know how to explain that, but it has helped me learn not only about the context of my novel and that I can actually expand it into more than a book, but how to go about doing that without losing my mind, really. Really, it talks about, finding the focus of your series, series definitions and types. What are series, the different kinds of, groups that they fit into. How to organise your series as well, and how to organise your novels. About characters and consistency, and the crucial parts of, writing and stuff like that. It's mainly, I would definitely think it is a book for organising your thoughts as well. And it also comes with I believe, something that you can print out as well. I'm sure. And then it goes into a case study of popular series and arcs, and I think it really goes into depth about Harry Potter and a couple of other series as well. So it gives you real examples of how to flesh out that as well, and how series have worked and how those writers have worked with those series, if that makes sense. So definitely a must-have writing reference. If you hadn't figured out, I have a cold. Again, before Nano, always a cold before Nano. That's my life. So the next book I'm recommending is 45 Master Characters, Mythic Models for Creating Original Characters. This basically goes into 45 character archetypes, which really your characters will fit into some point. Now, there is a debate here whether it really is stereotypical that this writer has kind of subbed everybody into these categories, I guess, or genres or themes of personality traits and stuff. But reading through it, I think, yes, I can actually see people that I know fitting into certain archetypes as well, because we are made of, spiritual beings and things like that as well. I'm not going to get too esoteric with you guys. But basically it goes through the female and male archetypes, and it talks about creating female heroes and villains, creating male heroes and villains, and creating supporting characters, the feminine and masculine journeys, because each male and female character goes through their own, individual journeys as well. Some examples are, Aphrodite, Hermes, Hades, Persephone. An example of those would be, say for Aphrodite, the seductive muse and the female fatale, or the matriarch and the scorned woman. So it kind of goes through the female, I wouldn't say good and bad, but the dark side and the light side of those characters, or their counter characters. But it also actually matches the females and males up with their archetypes as well. So, what's one example? Oh, and I also love that it actually gives you examples of television heroes, film heroes, and literary and historical heroes in action, so you can kind of get an example of what they're talking about as well. Where am I going? Oh yeah, so like developing a character arc. So for example, for the Amazon and the Gorgon, the archetype best paired with this would be the Protector, the Fool and the Maiden, and the Nurturer. And it talks about how those people can counteract their personalities. So for example, the Nurturer can teach her about the value of giving birth and being a mother, or the Protector can teach her to trust others and to help. So it's really just another great resource for writing. Definitely great for coming up with characters as well. If you are having trouble coming up with characters, especially during November, definitely pick up this book and do some of the exercises in developing stronger characters. You can do it from scratch as well. You can just have like a vague idea of what you want your character to look like, and read about the archetypes and the traits, the light and the dark side of that character, and how that fits into the context of your story. It also goes into some really helpful exercises that, again, sorry, really changed my perspective of my character, but also gave me some leeway with exploring different things, especially with one of the exercises where you write out your character's fears, and for every fear you write away how they're going to get out of that situation, or for every situation that they get themselves into, you write a way out of it before you actually write the story. Now that can change. We all know change is inevitable, and you have to be kind of flexible with your story. But it gives you a way to, one, actually give some character depth, because we all have fears and we all need to overcome them, and that's part of the story that we want to read. And also it gives you a way that when you actually get to that point in that journey, you're not kind of questioning where to go with it, which I find really helpful as well. It shows you how to use this book and how to work with the archetypes as well, and I just think it's a really interesting book to work on self-development as well. Sorry, the light outside is going. Let me see if I can turn on my light. There we go. So I would definitely recommend that one. Final two, guys. I might just show you this one first. If you are new to novelling, buy this. It is called The Nighttime Novelist. Finish your novel in your spare time by Joseph Bates. Even though I've been writing novels for quite a long time, and you know, I'm not published, but I have been writing for quite a long time because I love writing and I love the craft, and I just have too many ideas to not do anything with them because I love writing. But this book has really actually helped me. But I think it would be great for a first-time nano novelist, even before and during nano, because because of the colourful context, it's just very inviting. But it breaks it up between beginnings, middle and endings. It has sort of exercises as well. So, for example, building initial ideas. So hopefully, if you can see that. Try it out, keeping track of your ideas. And at the end of every section, if I can get that part. Yeah. At the end of every part, it actually has a thing called coffee break, where it will give you a checklist of the things that you've learned through that part of the book, and how to plan for the next section. So it's a part-by-part, really in-depth exploration of, coming up with ideas, planning, writing the novel in your spare time, and it's really helpful. And like I said, it's really colourful and inviting. I still haven't even gotten past this part because it's really good. It's really depthy. Talks about, framework and first act and how to set up the first act. And I believe, now I'm going to say this because I've had experience trying to order Writer's Digest books to Australia. Anyone in America is very lucky because sometimes Writer's Digest has these sales. Now I would definitely recommend subscribing to Writer's Digest online. They have sales where their books are like $1. Like, it's very rare to see these sales, but I've seen them like twice a year, or sometimes they might be like half price. You might get them for like $10, or you might even get them for like $15, depending on what book they are. And I think if it's over $25 or something, you get free shipping. If there is ever a sale and you see any of these books or any other Writer's Digest reference books, pick them up. They will be the best money you've ever spent on your writing career, hands down. I have bought these mostly full price for $30. They have been the best $30 I have ever spent, and this is no exception. I also believe that you can buy this with printables as well. I think you can buy like separate printables, but I'm not quite sure. I haven't really researched this book too much, I just bought it. But it is definitely one of my favourites. And lastly, to wrap this up, one of the reference books that I am definitely going to be using over the next 30 days is Writing Science Fiction and Fantasy. It's introduced by Orson Scott Card, and it has different authors like Philip Athens, J. Lake, I don't know any of these authors. I do believe I know Cheryl and Kenyon, Renee White, Michael J. Jahola. But so far, again, I came to science fiction with no knowledge, really. I mean, I had knowledge of what science fiction was, but I was so overwhelmed about writing a science fiction book that I just did not know where to go. I had the idea, I had the passion, I wrote my 50k last year for my science fiction book. I loved the experience, but when it came down to certain things, I could always learn more and more. This book is, I think the first half of it really talks about the differences between science fiction and fantasy, how to write it, not so much how to write it, but, different authors' perspectives on writing and culminating ideas and coming together and things like that. And then the last bit of it is a reference book. So, this is a cover. It goes into, where is it? It even goes into steampunk too, and it's a complete writer's reference, like traditional fantasy cultures, world cultures, magic, witchcraft and pagan past, commerce, trade, laws, and contemporary fantasy, fantasy races, creatures of myth and legend, dress and costumes, armor, arms and armies, and an anatomy of a castle. All in one book. Like, I was like, oh my god, like, no need to look online because it's all here. It's all at my fingertips. And I spent so long trying to find a really great reference online that when I actually found this book and started reading it and flicking through it, I was like, I have to have this. I have to. If you are a science fiction or fantasy writer, this is a must-have book. Even if you're very well versed in fantasy reading and writing, I still recommend it because there's things that I am still learning, and I know that you can still learn too. Even as a reference, you know, the parts of a castle. I don't know all the parts of a castle, but one day I might need to. So I definitely recommend this book. Highly, highly recommend it. And, you know, I will hopefully be able to use these books during the month of November on some days and give you some insights as well. So that is my video on the 6 Writer's Digest books I have started and used so far in my writing journey. I hope you enjoy. Hope you found something that you can use. I don't really know I haven't really watched many videos with writing reference books, so I really hope this has been helpful for you, and more will come in the future because I have an addiction to writing books. I actually ordered 2 more Writer's Digest books. No, 3. I actually ordered 3 more Writer's Digest books that will be coming hopefully sometime during November, because they were cheap and I love Writer's Digest. So, I love you all, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Happy Nano, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.